Yo, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia, but you can call me Sonia. I don't know how many of you guys know this about me, but I am a major musical theater nerd. Uh, I've been involved in musical theater since I was about 4, so a little bit less than 20 years now. Oh my god. And I really hate it when songs are done poorly. Case in point, Riverdale. Now, for those of you who don't know, Riverdale was a show, or still is, I believe it's still ongoing, that has been running from 2017 onwards, been on the CW, that was originally a spin-off of Archie, which was a comic series from quite a while ago, if I remember correctly. But as times went on and the show changed, it went in a less Archie direction and more of like a mystery romance direction. To the point where they decided it would be a good idea to cover Broadway music on their show. And that's what we're going to be looking at today. Riverdale versus Broadway performances. Specifically, we're going to be looking at the Heathers Riverdale versus Broadway performances. Because if you haven't heard the original Heathers Broadway soundtrack or even the West End soundtrack, I would highly recommend you give it a listen to. Links to both of those are going to be down below. Even if, there's a pro shop version of, I believe, the West End Heathers now on the Roku channel. So you can also go watch that if you have Roku. And this show got a lot of flack for making Heathers kind of shitty. So we're gonna go over this and see just which parts were shitty and if there was definitely a better way they could have done this. And we're gonna start with Beautiful, which is the opening song to Heathers.
This could be beautiful. Mascara, maybe some lip gloss, and we're on our way.
So, right away, I understand you had to change the storyline for your show. There's no Veronica. Okay, sure. Her vocals are auto-tuned to hell. And you could tell because of the way she sings the, and you know, this could be beautiful. It's not got enough vibrato in it. Which is something that will naturally happen in most singers' voices. Yeah. There's one that's a lot worse than this, and we'll get to that.
This girl some blush, and Heather, I need your brush. Let's make me beautiful. Let's make her beautiful. Let's make her beautiful.
Why were you like Ariana Grande whisper singing, "Make her beautiful"? Why? The two backups, their voices do not mix together, and I'm not sure if that was an intentional choice, because I have never seen Riverdale, but it's a bad choice. Why would you have two of your main vocals in a song have their vocals just straight up not mix well? Like they grate against each other.
Out of my way, geek. I don't want trouble. You're gonna die at 3 p.m.
Okay. Firstly, this is not about the music, this is about the framing. You go from focus on the girls with a camera shot in the sort of like background of it. So like if I'm framed over here, it's framed over my shoulder, and you could see like these guys coming out of nowhere, and you'd never know to look if they didn't have him shove the guy out of nowhere. But then just the way he sings, "You're gonna die at 3 p.m.
I don't want trouble. You're gonna
die at 3 p.m. It sounds like he's drunk or they slowed down his vocals or something. I don't know, but it's really fucking bad.
And you know, life can be beautiful.
Okay.
You hope, you dream, you pray, and you get your way.
That wasn't bad.
Mascara, maybe some lip gloss.
See, listen to the way she's singing it compared to the Riverdale singer. And you know, this could be beautiful. Mascara, maybe some lip gloss. Whereas, and you know, this could be beautiful. Mascara, maybe some lip gloss. It's just not as good when there's no vibrato.
And we're on our way. Get this girl some blush. And Heather, I need your brush. Let's make her beautiful. Let's make her beautiful. Let's make her beautiful. Okay.
And already you can hear their voices just mesh so much better together. Because it's almost like thought went into the casting, knowing that this was going to be a musical and not just a TV show that eventually spun off into some form of musical mini drama series or whatever.
Out of my way, geek. I don't want trouble. You're gonna die at 3 p.m. Don't you dare touch me. Get away from her work. What did I ever do to them?
Now the man's vocals, still not great, but not as bad as "You're gonna die at 3 p.m." And then you've got the backup on "Don't you dare touch me, get away, pervert." Listen to how much power she has behind her soul voice, as opposed to the three people who did it in Riverdale. Specifically the man, because he just did not have passion behind his voice, and that's a problem when you're singing a song like this. Oh boy, candy store. Here we go.
Honey, what you waiting for? Welcome to my candy store.
Off tempo, off key, and instead of having a chorus like is supposed to be in Heathers, where you have the three Heathers, two of which are singing backup, they chose to have the one girl and just duplicate her vocals in post. Okay.
You just gotta prove you're not a doorknob.
What did she say? You just gotta prove you're not a doorknob? I understand it's basic cable, so you can't exactly say you just gotta prove you're not a pussy anymore. But I seem to recall seeing this a couple months back and hearing them use bitch. So, censors don't make sense.
You can join the team,
Okay.
or you can bitch and moan.
See, they just use bitch. Also, the sound effects are too much.
You can live the dream, or you can die alone.
Whoever did the Foley for this, please, in future, back off. This is too much. She had a whip as she spun around.
Or you can bitch and moan. You can
Why? That's too much.
live the dream, or you can die alone. You can fly with the eagles, or if you prefer.
Again, just duplicating vocals. Interesting choice to have it a like sing off, dance off between two like clicks. But at the very least, you could have the other girl's clicks like backing her up. You know.
Keep on testing me and end up like her.
She must not have been able to hit the original pitch because and keep on testing me and end up like her. Like that's the pitch. And it's supposed to be like I think a full octave higher.
Honey, what you waiting for? Welcome to my candy store.
The footage is nervous.
Prove you're not.
Firstly, the footage is nervous. Secondly, you can hear the more like resonance and less like it's not duplicated vocals, it's three different girls' vocal styles meshing together well. With harmony. Like, you can't get that when you're just duplicating one girl's vocals over.
Into my candy store.
Also, she accomplished the melody. Step into my candy store.
Can live the dream, or you can die alone. You can fly with eagles, or if you prefer, keep on testing me and end up like her.
Okay, again, they hit the melody. Here's one I'm very nervous for. 17, because I believe this one has Dylan Sprouse in it. Don't get me wrong, I like him. I think he's a decent actor. He's just not in any way, shape, or form a singer. And for whatever reason, if I remember correctly, they chose to make this gay, which all the more power to you. But can we be 7? Okay, he has a lot more vocal processing on his voice than she does, and you can hear it because he's got like reverb and shit in his voice, and she's just sounding a little bit more like she's like this close to the microphone, whereas he's sounding like he's way back here in comparison. Which I understand you need to mask bad vocals, but that's not how you do it. Auto-tune exists, just let him sound like a robot.
If you could let me in, I could be good with you. Let us
No real complaints about their vocals. Again, too much auto-tuning, but basic cable.
be 17.
I have to wonder because like men in this song typically have to belt a lot more than like if you're playing Veronica, where it's probably a little bit more in your vocal range. But like, let us be 17. Was he stood back from the microphone like back here, trying not to peak it? Because my guy, they have things that are meant to help not peak a microphone.
If we still got the ride, so what's it gonna be? I wanna be with you. I wanna be with you.
Already missing a melody. I wanna be with you. Okay, 4-part harmony, not bad, but you can hear it in the guy who plays JD's voice, but he's just got like a lot more power and is having to belt less because he's got a lot more control over his voice. And I don't think Dylan Sprouse has a bad voice. I just think he's not trained. And I believe the guy who plays JD in Heathers is his name is Ryan McCartan. I believe he has a YouTube channel. You should go check him out. Pretty good. Yeah.
If you could let me in, I could be good with you. Let us be 17.
See, okay. This is what I'm talking about. Let us be 17. You can see it more in his face than you can on hers because it's more in her vocal range, so she's having to reach less for it. But like, you can see like the strain on his face as he's struggling, not really struggling, but as he's like attempting to hit that high note, and she's just kind of like, yeah, it's whatever, and he's just like, I'm really having to work for this. Like, I've been trained, but I'm still having to work. And you can see that strain on his face every time he goes for that note. It's just, it's an unfortunate side effect of having such a high vocal line. Maybe it's just because he's supposed to be under her, But as far as this goes, her voice is more overpowering than his is. And you can hear it when they're hitting that tonight. Yeah. It's whatever. It just is weird mixing, I guess. Oh boy.
Dad says act your age.
You heard the boss, it's time to work.
There are some weird lyric changes in this. The original one is Dad says act our age. You heard the man. It's time to rage.
Rage.
And they didn't change rage, so I don't understand why you change man to boss. Also, again, the grading of the vocals, it doesn't mesh well.
Act your
Heard the boss, it's time to rage.
Dad says act our age. You heard the man. It's time to rage. Not, it's time to rage. Like, it's not a speaking line. It just doesn't fit the vibe.
Turn out the lights, ain't nobody home tonight.
This is supposed to be everybody. Like, this is supposed to be the entire cast getting in on this song. Not just two people. Because then it's not a house party. It's just two people trying to make it seem like it's a party. And everybody else is just kind of like, you guys are fucking weird.
Now it's all cool.
Okay, that lyric change makes a little bit more sense. Not really, though. I guess maybe you can't have references to smoking, but, like, the original line is drink, smoke, it's all cool. Let's get naked in my pool. And,
Lights, ain't nobody home tonight. Get down, it's all cool.
jump right in my heated pool.
I don't really see anything. I guess I don't deal with, like, cable TV censors, but that doesn't make sense to me, the lyric changes. Get down, it's all cool. Let's jump in my heated pool. It doesn't fit the vibe.
And start a fight, ain't nobody home tonight.
Where's the rest of the cast? There they are.
Dad says act our age, you heard the man, it's time to rage. Watch the bass, turn out the light, ain't nobody home tonight. Drink, smoke, it's all
Already, you can hear better vocal mixing on all of them because it's an entire cast, not just two people where one person's vocals are going to stand out more. And the lyric changes, again, unnecessary. In the original Broadway show, drink, smoke, it's all cool. Let's get naked in my pool.
Let's get naked in my pool. Watch the wall and start a fight. Ain't nobody home tonight. Folks are gone. It's time for big fun. We're rock till dawn, having some big fun.
And then, of course, you had to cut it off before when Mom and Dad forget to lock the liquor cabinet. Okay. All in all, it's too much auto-tune, not good enough vocal mixing to pass it off as if it's two voices meshing well. And you're singling out lyrics where there doesn't need to be singling out. To the point where it just sounds awkward and it doesn't really fit with the vibe. And you've got people who aren't hitting notes where they're supposed to be and randomly just changing the melody in the middle of the song. And it doesn't track. It doesn't make sense for the vibe. And if you know the original Heathers, it's going to bother you a lot. If you don't, I don't know. You might be fine with it. Honestly, if I were watching the show, I would skip any episode that had singing in it because most of the cast, if they were trained, could probably sing decently. But as you heard from Dylan Sprouse, they had to put an incredible amount of vocal processing on his voice because he is not a singer. And that's not me saying he can't sing. Singing is something you can learn to do, absolutely. But he just never did. And maybe that'll change. Maybe that already has changed since the Heathers episode of Riverdale was filmed. But it's just not suitable at all for what you're trying to go for. And I understand you're like stuck within your cast constraints, but nobody said you can't substitute in vocals. I mean, look at High School Musical. There was I forget his name. I think Drew Seeley, who did the vocals for Troy in that movie, because Zac Efron didn't want to show off his voice in that movie, and that's fine. It passed off well enough, and it was fine. It was good enough for a kids show or a kids movie. And the thing is, Riverdale is basic cable. None of the people looking close enough at this are going to give a shit if they're lip syncing anyways, because they're already lip syncing. So might as well make it somebody whose vocals you'd want to listen to. And put the freaking choruses back. It's so annoying to hear music that's supposed to have these big boisterous choruses to them, like Big Fun, where you've got the entire cast joining in and having a blast and just partying. And then you've got Riverdale, where it's two people. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm being a drama queen, but there's just so much about this that just doesn't make sense to me. And you would have been way better off if you had just left it. Like, brought in professional singers and paid them for their time, and brought in better mixers, and yeah. Anyways, that's where I'm going to leave this video off here. If you guys enjoyed this video and would like to see more, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. 99% of the people who are watching my videos are not subscribed to my channel. So if you would, please hit that subscribe button. It's free and you can unsubscribe at any moment. And comment below if you have any other videos you think I should react to, whether they're Heathers or other musicals or anything really. And in addition to that, let me know any games you think I should play. This is still a gaming channel, so peace out.